Hi, it's Garry, and welcome to today's live stream. Well, Christmas is nearly here if you celebrate Christmas. I've got another Christmas t-shirt on. This one's the Grinch. I've also today got my Christmas hat. Not sure how long this hat's going to last though, because it's a warm one here today. We've got a really decent temperature for a change. I've even got pens rolling all over the place. Oops, just move that back. I'm having to use the pen to try and hold some stuff down. Hopefully they won't fly off. So let me just switch over to Safari. Where's the right button? There we go, Safari. So currently here, just south of Perth, it's in Western Australia, it's 27 Celsius. That's 80.6 Fahrenheit. The forecast high today is 38. Which is 100 Fahrenheit. So it's going to be a warm one. So, yep, the hat may come off depending how we're going. Because if it's really warm, I'm not keeping the hat on, sorry. I've got my desk fan going, so that will help a little bit. Let's jump on Let's jump on over. Just checking I can hear myself. Yeah, I can hear myself. Over to the comments. So we've got Andreas. Good day, everyone. Welcome to you, Andreas. Tom, good evening. Welcome to you, Tom. Andreas, Garry, I'm frantically packing for my Christmas retreat so I can listen, not comment. I want to say a huge thank you for all the work you've put into the community this year. No, thank you for that, Andreas, but it's all down to you. I've got to be honest. It's all down to the people that are joining in, because these live streams wouldn't be what they are if we didn't have this chat. So I really appreciate everybody who's contributed in any way. Very much appreciate them. Tom, happy summer solstice, happy summer solstice, Garry, and the winter solstice to most of the rest of us. Yep, welcome to you. Thank you for that, Tom. Yeah, the only downside with the solstice, isn't it? Certainly for where we are, with it being the summer, it means the nights are going to start drawing in. Whereas at the moment, we've got loads of daylight and loads of hot daylight. I've just been looking at the weather forecast. At the moment, the forecast today, as I say, is for that 38 or 100. The forecast for Christmas Day is 22. So chances are I'll be feeling cold then. Andreas, I wish everyone a happy Christmas and New Year. Thanks for that, Andreas. Tom, winter solstice for me. Alia Rose, hi from Pennsylvania. We've got Steve from Salt Lake City, Utah. Welcome to both of you. Marie, hi from Michigan. And Blonde Scales 1 from Arkansas. And Tom from Northridge in California. Welcome to you three. Ricardo, good morning from Fresh London. Good morning to you. I haven't got London's temperature up in front of me. I've got Norfolk's, and it's 5 degrees in Norfolk at the moment. I can't imagine. Well, I know I've said that. I think 5 degrees. I don't think it ever goes down to 5. I know I keep talking about that. Alia Rose, I almost forgot. I didn't feel very Saturday-ish. I always find that weekend before Christmas is always odd, because you're trying to do stuff. You've got loads going on. And you're trying to finish everything, and you're feeling like it's panic stations. I know exactly where you're coming from. Ricardo, happy December solstice to all. John, greetings from New York. Welcome to you. Alia Rose, that is a hat. It is. It's awesome. It goes all the way around. We've got little, I don't know if you can see them, lift up the star. It's got baubles on, all sorts. I bought it last year. I was in Kmart, one of a big box typey store, $5. So I bought that, and it's brilliant. I say it may come off because it is a bit on the warm side. Blonde Scales 1, very attractive hat, isn't it? Just, I do have another one. I don't know where it is. I haven't been able to find it for a couple of years. I've got one which dances on your head, but I say I just can't find it. I don't know where it is. I think maybe Elaine might have got a bit annoyed with it and accidentally put it in the bin. Just guessing, though. Chris, morning all. Welcome to you, Chris, from over in Toowoomba. Jim, I'm coming in live from Harper's Ferry. Hi to all. Welcome, Jim. Blonde Scales 1. That's July, August temps here. Yeah, so we're now going into like the top of summer. In Perth, they're going to get on tomorrow, I think it is. I think even today, Perth's meant to be hitting over 40. So where I live, we're just about 70 kilometres south of Perth, and we're on the ocean, so it's a little bit cooler usually. Jim just reached 27 Fahrenheit -3 centigrade. Oh, I wouldn't survive that. I saw a picture during the week on my Facebook memories from when I went to the UK last, which was a fair few years ago. And we were driving from London up to North Yorkshire to visit my family. And I took a photo. This is during the day of the temperature on the car display. -11 centigrade. It was cold. I know when we were at my parents' house, and I don't know if I've told this story before, went to my parents' house. During the day, the highest temperature it reached was -17 centigrade, which is, let me get Safari up again, because it's a ridiculous number. -17, -17. So that's 1.4 Fahrenheit. Blast, was it cold, I can tell you. It was bitter. Absolutely freezing. I was sat there in my mother's house next to the radiator, which was on, with every item of clothing I had with me on, and I still could not get warm. It was so cold. And my son, being my son at the time, I think he was about 14 or 15, went fishing on the North Sea with my brother. -17, and he was out in a cobble on the North Sea fishing. I could not believe it, I'll tell you. Never been so cold. Blonde Scales 1, we're due a bit of a warm-up and a rain for Christmas. It's one thing, everybody says, like growing up in the UK, everyone says about snow for Christmas. I really struggle to remember having snow on Christmas. I remember frost. I can remember ice. Struggling to remember snow, though. Tony, well, hello, Garry on. Hello, Garry, and everyone from Wiltshire, UK, 3 degrees windy. Welcome to you there, Tony. Ricardo, it's 8 centigrade there. That's in London. Chris, I'm heading north for Christmas. Christmas Day will either be 38 and 90% humidity or in the middle of a cyclone. Yeah, I've fortunately never been in a cyclone, but I've been in that 90% humidity a few times when I've had to go to Darwin. And it's the humidity which is the killer. Chris, if you don't hear from me next week, we'll know there's been a little bit of wind. Alia Rose, 19 Fahrenheit here, which is quite balmy. As in B-A-L-M-Y, not B-A-R-M-Y. And Blonde Scales 1, tonight's low is supposed to be 27 Fahrenheit. Wow, that's cool. I'll just do a refresh of the comments. I'm going to go straight over to the iPhone camera. I forgot to do it last week, so what we're going to do, and so apologies if you haven't kept up to date on the ink vent and the colour vent calendars. We're going to do a review of days 1 to 20. So that's up to my Friday, or for those in the States, yesterday. I'm only going to do this quick, so we're just going to look at the swatch cards. So first up, I've got Diamine Baltic Breeze, which I know we did take a quick look at. Nice ink. We've got some nice shimmer there coming through in the middle. There's the wind taking the card. Pale colour. I'm hoping when I get this in a pen that I might see, some shading. Is it maybe a little bit of, is it chroma shading they call it sometimes? I'll have to see what happens. And then with the Colourverse one, that's super giant, beautiful red there. I'll turn them over just so you can get a quick look at the chromatographies. So this Baltic Breeze and Supergiant. Day number 2. So we'll start with Diamine each time. Wilted Rose. So this is like a dusty colour. I've noticed a lot of dusty colours this year. And to me, it's like a pinkish brown. I know I'm not very good at describing colours. And then over the back, here we've got the chromatography. And this is a standard ink. And then with Colourverse, we've got Edge of Night. Nice bluish colour. Again, to me, it looks a bit dusty. Be interesting to see what this one is like in a pen. Quite an interesting chromatography, though. They've got really good delineation there between them. Up next, we've got Noble Fur from Diamine, day number 3. This is a Star Bright. You can half see that. Look at that shining. Very nice. So what I do with these, I do a single pass all the way across. Then I do a double pass. And then in the middle, I do another pass. So it gets 1, 2, and 3 passes. And I just use a cotton swab that I've dipped into the ink. But very nice. I love the green and I love the Star Bright. Again, be interesting to see what that one's like in a pen. I'll just need to be careful with the pens that I pick. Next up, from Colourverse, this day 3, Moonlit Veil. So this is a fairly pale grey. Again, I'm wondering if there'll be some shading once I get this into a pen. And the chromatography, quite boring really. Just got grey all the way up. Day number 5? Where's day number 4? Oh, the wind took it, that's why. Day number 4 from Diamine, Forest Gâteau. So I'm thinking this is inspired by the Black Forest Gâteau. Not sure if you get that in the States. It's like it's a cake about that tall, usually. It's chocolate cake with beautiful chocolate icing. And then there's, in the cake, is usually some kind of cherry flavouring. And then on the top, you've got like cherries, or half of a cherry, split around. I quite like it. It's very, very sweet though. And this colouring does remind me of that as well. Unusual colour for me. I don't think I've got many colours this. So it's like a pinky purple. And there we've got the chromatography. Day number 4 of Colourverse. This is Sailing Stones. I nearly watched a documentary about these. Is it the Death Valley in Arizona where they get these? Where the stones appear to sail across the sand. It's a nice brown. The way it looks where I've gone heavy, it looks like there's a bit... It looks a little bit shimmery, but I don't think it's meant to. I think it's purely because I've gone really heavy. But yeah, it's a nice pale dust. Again, I would say it's like a dusty brown colour. Chromatography-wise, there we go. Lots of grey, lots of like a pinky colour. From Diamine again, day number 5, Icy Lilac. This one's a shimmer ink. Just making sure I've got it in the camera. I'm trying to keep an eye on the camera whilst I'm doing everything else. Nice, very pale purple. Again, wondering if this one will have some shading when I get in a pen. And then we've got that shimmer. I'm thinking of this. The pen I'm thinking of this might be my Diplomat Aero. I think it might look nice in that. The Diplomat Aero I've got is in the factory colour, the like raw aluminium. I'm thinking that might be a good match. And over the back here, we've got that chromatography. Sorry. From Colourverse, day number 5, here we've got Rosette Nebula. Again, it's a pinky colour. Where I've gone heavier, we've got some nice, like, darker colour. I also see, again, where I've gone heavier, it looks a little bit like a bit of a hint of gold sheen. That's what I'm certainly seeing on the swatch. Again, it's going to be interesting when it's in a pen. And then over the back. Interesting that we've got all this brown down at the bottom. I think sometimes when I do these, it's interesting the combos that you see. Day number 6. We've got our first extreme sheen here from Diamine. This is Cranberry. Just look at that. We've got this beautiful, like a pinky colour. Very, is it similar to one or the other? No. I think I've got, is it Diamine Merlot maybe? might be similar. That I'm going off memory here. But then we've got this beautiful mass of green sheen coming through. Very pretty. And in the writing there, I don't know if you see it, we've got that green is really standing out. Chromatography wise, there we go. Right, let's pop that on there. From Colorverse, we've got Killer Nova. So this is like a purple, a darkish purple with, I don't know what sheen to call this. It's like a brown, I would say, or looking brown to me. Very nice. The story with this one, obviously, I like a lot of people, I'm guessing, I've been watching as people have been doing these over the past, month since they started being shipped. And I wasn't really watching how they were spelling the name. So I thought it was Killer Nova as in KILLERNOVA, as in a killer nova. And, and I was thinking, well, that's right, because they're so violent when they explode that I could see it being called, because it would literally be killing everything around it. And it wasn't until I actually received the ink that I noticed it's not Killer Nova, it's Kilo Nova, although it's pronounced Killer Nova. So that's my little story with that. Over on the back, we've got quite an interesting chromatography with this one. Some beautiful blues, some pinks, and then heading in towards that purpley colour. The controversial one from Diamine, Lemon and Lime. Yeah, I know we talked about this a lot last week. It's a bright colour, and I don't really think it's going to be that practical. Over the back on the chromatography, that's where I drew the line here. We've got next to nothing, and then we've just got a little bit of yellow with a hint of, or a fringe of green there. That can be an ink I don't know if I'll ever get in a pen. Day 7, though, of Colorverse is Rover, which is a glistening ink or a shimmer ink. In my database, I call it shimmer because it's glistening on the bottle. That's what I've wrote on there. So we've got a beautiful, like a browny grey ink. And then we've got that gorgeous shimmer there, that silver shimmer coming through. And another one with quite an interesting chromatography. My hero now from Diamine Day number 8, Marley. Jacob Marley from A Christmas Carol. It was quite interesting. I was listening to the Pen Addict podcast during the week, and neither is it Brad or Mike knew what Marley was. Yeah, Jacob Marley. Very nice. It's like a pinky grey. I'm guessing this might be a chroma shading ink just from the way it's gone down with this swatch. Again, I'll know better once it's in a pen. And turning it over, here we've got, again, some nice colour separation there. That same day from Colorverse, Blue Moon. Nice pale blue here. Again, to me, where I've gone heavy, it looks like there's a little bit of like a silvery type sheen coming through. Definitely not a silver, and it's only hints of it. It's very nice though. I quite like the look of this. It's very pale, so I might need to get this maybe into a broader nib, or even a stub nib. Over on the back, quite interesting. We've got loads of blue, obviously. Then we've got a very thin, like peachy line up here at the top. So that's the Blue Moon. Wishing Tree was day number 9. This is a chameleon. I think it was the first chameleon. Again, to me, it looks quite grey. I noticed there's been a lot of grey type inks this year. The chameleon in the middle, I can just about see it. I do struggle with chameleon inks quite a lot, though, really seeing what's in there. But I can see, to me, it's very, greeny. I'm just not sure how this comes over on the camera. Oh, and the chromatography there. And we've got from Colorverse, Red Horizon. I love this Red Horizon. Looks really nice. So a nice red colour. We've got beautiful gold sheen coming through as well, certainly around the edges here. My only comment with this one is it's talking about the horizon on Mars. it shouldn't be red, it should be orange. Because when you look at everything that's coming through from Perseverance and all the landers that they've got, especially those obviously that show colour, the sky's more of an orange colour rather than a red. And even the ground is more orange than this. But it still is quite nice. And there's that chromatography red all the way through. Diamine Day 10, another star bright. So here we've got Diamine Chilly Night. Beautiful there. Nice, really bright silver there on this. Again, to me, it's a dusty colour. It's like a dusty grey blue colour. And here we've got that chromatography. Another colour I quite like, Colorverse Aquarius Whispers. Nice. I want to say it's like a green colour with hints of blue. Certainly when I've gone thicker, you can see more of the green coming through. And then over on the back, got loads of green. And then at the top, we've got a nice wide amount of blue there. Diamine Grotto, an extreme sheen. Here we are. So this is like a pinky orangey colour, maybe like salmon, is it? With another beautiful green sheen to it. Very nice. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm loving these green sheens. And over on the back there, all the way up, we've got that pink. Just going to have a bit of a drink. I can hear my voice going funny. I was getting a little bit squeaky. And then from Colorverse, we've got Da Vinci Glow. Love the name of this. Again, very dusty colour to me, like a dusty pale purple colour. And again, it might just be my eye. I'm seeing in the middle here, it's like a hint of a gold sheen coming through. But when I'm looking at the writing, not seeing any sheen, it just looks like to be honest, just looks like grey. So I've noticed lots of greys. Day 12, where I messed up, to say the least. This is actually the Day 12 ink. I've put them in the right order. So this is Snow Glow with Chameleon. It's, another dusty type colour to me, like a dusty blue colour. And then where we've got the Chameleon, I'm seeing hints of purple there. Maybe some hints of green as well. And over on the back, there's that chromatography. And now I'm going through these quickly. I will do a more detailed video later on. I'm planning to film that in a couple of weeks. From Colorverse Day 12, Sunbeam. I actually quite like the colour. I'm not sure about the name. There we go, Sunbeam. It's like a yellow colour. I don't often like yellow inks, but we're tending a little bit towards brown. I might try this in something like my Pilot Custom 823. Might look all right in that. And then here we've got the chromatography. Interesting, we've got that hint of grey right at the very top there. Oh, yeah, I'm just making sure it was in the camera. Day 13, Lullaby from Diamine. Another very pale looking ink. This one is tending like to be a pinkish purple. Again, I know I'm crap at describing colour. And then over on the back, again, the chromatography doesn't really move a lot. I mean, the water went up to about here, but we've only really got something here, then little hints as it goes up. From Colorverse, we've got Neptune's Occultation or something like that. And it's one of those hard words for me. Beautiful purple colour. And then where we've gone thick, we've got like maybe a reddish type sheen coming through there. It's not advertised as being a sheen in ink though. Over on the back, here we've got our chromatography to make up that purple. Day number 14, Mint Twist, a Chameleon ink. Nice pale green. Again, one of the things I've noticed with a lot of these, they've been very pale colours this year, from really both of them. Yes, we've got some saturated ones. I personally like more saturated inks anyway. But this looks quite nice. And we've got there like a silver chameleon sheen or shimmer coming through there. And over the back, there's the chromatography. From Diamine, Pulsar, not Diamine, from Colourverse we've got Pulsar Pulse. I quite like this one. So we've got a blue. It's a different blue than I have in most of my red sheen in ink. So this might be nice. This might be when I get into a pen sooner rather than later. And then we've got a beautiful red sheen there coming through. Day number 15, Diamine Sleigh Ride, an extreme sheen. So this is like I want to say brown, but tending towards orange. Gorgeous. Absolutely love this green sheen. This ink I've already got in 2 pens, and you'll see one of them soon. Really like this. It's very, very, very nice. It's up there as possibly my favourite ink from the whole lot. And there we've got the chromatography. From Colourverse, we've got Brinicles. Again, a nice blue ink with hints of like a silvery type colour where I've gone on really thick. Nice pale blue though. And over there we've got the chromatography. We're getting near the end. Day 16, Tundra from Diamine. Again, it's a very pale looking ink. This is like a grey-brown colour to me. Actually doesn't look too bad. I do like my browns, but I just worry there seems to be an awful lot of grey. But I can see where they're getting the name from. And over the back, there we've got that chromatography. Day 16 of Colourverse, Eclipse Silence. So this very dark ink, tending towards maybe a black base. But what I'm seeing on top of it, it looks brown to my eye. I mean, it could be red and just with the colour of the back of the base colour. But it looks brown. Again, seems to sheen a little tiny bit. Over on the back, you can see we've got all blacks and greys there, though, in that chromatography. Day number 17, Winterberry, which is another chameleon. So again, this is like a pinkish red. Trying to think what it reminds me of. It reminds me a little bit of a lobster, the shell of a lobster. Just a little bit. Maybe the lobster shell is a bit darker, but that's what it brings to mind. Then we've got, to my eye, what looks like a pinkish type chameleon there. And over the back quickly, there's that chromatography. Cards are blowing all over the place. Day 17 from Colourverse, NGC2264. I had to write that on a piece of paper, so I got it right. Nice green ink. I like the greens. I think of the ones we've seen so far, this is actually my favourite green. Again, where I've gone on really heavy, there seems to be hints of red coming through, but not seeing that on the writing. And then over the back, here's that chromatography again. Day number 18, we've got Vibe, another extreme sheen. So this time we've got is it maybe a bluey black type colour with that red sheen on the top? You can certainly see the vibe of it. And then over the back, quite an interesting chromatography, lots of green in that one. Sorry, just having another drink. Colourverse Morning Glory. To me, it's another greyish ink. Again, wondering, when I get this in a pen, will this be like a chroma shading type ink? It's quite nice. And again, where I've gone on heavy, seeing hints of gold in there. And there's our chromatography. Very nice colour delineation there, isn't it? Right. And we're flying through. We've got 2 more of each to do. Day number 19, not day number 12, day number 19, Fruit Cocktail, which is a scented ink. It's orange. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, it's orange and it smells. Over the back, we've got pinks and we've got some yellows in there. Very descriptive, isn't it? Orange and it smells. from Colourverse. Day 19 is Colourverse Milky Way. So here we've got purples, we've got like darker purple, then it's a glistening ink, we've got this beautiful blue there coming through. So I'm guessing this is meant to represent the Milky Way at night, where you're looking at it and you've got the night sky, if I can avoid it flying away, and the glistening, maybe the stars, but all I can think about is that. Every time I see this, don't tell my wife I raided her treat jar to get this out. I'll put it back so hopefully she won't notice. But all I can think about is actually a Milky Way chocolate bar, and the colours aren't too bad. So that's day 19 of the Colourverse. And finally, day 20 with the Diamine. This is Potpourri. I know, or Potpourri. I'm just common, so it's Potpourri. So this is like a purple colour. Yeah, I know a lot of the Potpourris you see are purple. We've never been able to use it because my son's slightly intolerant to lavender. It gives him migraines. So the purple ones tend to have a lot of lavender. So we always went for the blues and the greens, which had a more woody scent to them. And then over the back, here we've got that's chromatography. And lucky last, white hole. Very, very pale ink. Very pale indeed. Gonna have to use this in a really broad nib, I think. Still looking nice. This is another one which I may use my Diplomat Aero for, because it's that aluminium colour. Got a few other pens which I may play around with, but yeah, certainly the Diplomat Aero is a definite target. So let's go back to the camera. Let's wiggle my bum over. Have a quick drink. So today's mug is Batman. It's nearly finished. And got my normal peppermint tea in here. And I've just spilt it all down my t-shirt. And again. I don't know. I can't be trusted. Right. Let's head over to the comments. Wow, we're going all the way up. Wow, there's loads of comments. Okay, Blonde Scales 1. Way back in the 80s, we had snow for Christmas. Unfortunately, it had a layer of ice on top of the snow. Yeah, doesn't that spoil the fun? Ricardo, in 25 years in London, I've never seen snow on Christmas Day. Yeah, I say, even where I grew up, where it did get cold, I don't ever recall Christmas and snow being together. Blonde Scales 1, that was the year I sprained my ankle the day before Christmas Eve. Ooh, although that could be handy if you're the one who's meant to be cooking, then you can hand all the cooking off to someone else. I know that's what I would have done. Alia Rose, Colourvent has been a box of blandness pretty much. So unfestive, so basic. Suits and sweatpants, no party clothes. Yeah, I can see what you're saying there. And think, apart from the extreme sheenings, I think the same can be said of the Diamine. There hasn't really been anything really grabbing me from either of them. I say apart from those extreme sheens. Blonde Scales 1, I liked some of the colours from Colourvent, just too expensive to buy. And I'm completely with you on that. Colourverse inks over here are, I want to say, about 4 or 5 times the price of Diamine inks. Hence why the only time I get Colourverse inks is if I buy a sample. John, any advice which inks are the most stable in extreme temperatures? I've got no idea, to be honest. Certainly extreme cold, I would think none of them would be very good because they're all water-based. So once it goes below the freezing point, you know, you could be stuffed. I have heard some people from Canada, some YouTubers in Canada say that they don't order ink over the winter because going through the postage system, the ink can freeze. So yeah, that's all I can say is that, and I would think extreme heat, again, the problem you'd have might be the opposite. It might be too hot, so you'd get a lot of evaporation. And I'm guessing as it evaporates, if it doesn't condense back, if it somehow escapes the bottle or the pen, it's going to darken the colour eventually. Blonde Scales 1, no idea. Do you know, every time I see no idea, not just on here, but even myself. Whenever I'm saying it at home, I always say blind Bambi. My wife then looks at me and I said, a no-eyed deer. Yes, I know that's the sort of jokes I do. Alia Rose, I'd spend money on maybe 2 or 3. I can see why Colourverse is only releasing a handful in large bottles. I can. There is maybe one of the Colourverses that I might get. Let me just see if I can find it again. There we are. It's the Milky Way. I do quite like the look of the Milky Way. But I'm not sure if I'd buy a full bottle of it yet. David, hi everyone from Fort Worth this time, where it's 50 Fahrenheit and nice. Guess what I got for an early Christmas present? I'm hoping it's a Mont Blanc. Blonde Scales 1, another pen. Alia Rose, never asked me to do guessing games. David, a medium nib Mont Blanc Origins 149. Awesome. What I'm going to do next year, when I start saving for, the expensive pen next year, I'm going to start saving and looking for a Mont Blanc. Not sure what it'll be. I mean, we're talking about a year's time before I'd be even thinking of buying it. But yeah, I'm going to start looking for a Mont Blanc because I hear a lot of people talking about them. It's just a lot of money, so I'm going to have to save a little bit each month and hopefully at the end of the year have enough for one. Alia Rose, I'll say a trash full of oatmeal or something like that. I'll say a trash bag full of oatmeal or something. I think that's in response to the guessing game. I've just finished my tea. Now I'm on to my cordial. Yes, I do drink my cordial that week. This glass was completely full of ice. You can see how hot it was. So in the half an hour since I've made it, well, not half an hour, 45 minutes, 3/4 of the ice has melted already. I don't know if I've mentioned this before. In Australia in the summer, you've got your 2 taps in your kitchen and your bathroom. You've got one with a H on and one with a C one. In the summer here, if you turn on the H tap, you get hot water. If you turn on the C tap, you get extremely hot water. Yeah, and I was saying to my wife during the week, I wonder how much water is wasted each day because we have to run the cold tap, that C tap, for about a minute, sometimes even 2 minutes before we start actually getting cold water. Obviously, the sun heating all the pipes up. I know in Darwin, when I used to go there, one of the people I used to meet up there, he said in the summer, they only ever used the cold water because it was always hot. So, David, we got some smiley faces. Blonde Scales 1, I was right, a pen. Mr. Inky Fingers, welcome to you. Definitely liked 2024 Diamine Ink Vent. Yeah, I'd say both of them are all right. Just a lot of blah colours. And, very unsaturated. I like saturated colours. David, to Tom, hi Tom. Tony, nice one, David. Alia Rose, to Mr. Saying about line. Go on, Gary, your brain's there somewhere. Saying about liking the ink vent. David, good evening from Tom. David, thanks. How is London? John, is the nib on the originals different from the regular 149? Blonde Scales 1, now if USPS would just get my last box from Anderson Pens to me. Such a shame they're closing down. I did see an Instagram post from them, so I think they've actually closed their store now. Tony, it was my 75th birthday this week, and my partner bought me a Conway Stewart limited edition Van Wall. Hopefully I got that right. I'm still like this because my eyes are playing up today. Blonde Scales 1, happy Hatch Day. David, to John, yes, they are gold and rhodium. Absolutely beautiful. David, that's nice. Every time I see nice or that's nice, I get the voice of Mrs. Brown in my head. Tony to David, I'm in Wiltshire, cold, wet and windy. That describes the whole of the UK, really. Alia Rose, we've got a birthday cake. David, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. I'm not sure if I was meant to sing that. I'm afraid my singing voice is worse than my talking voice. David, To Tom, how's everything your way, Tom? I hope you're doing well. Tony, a medium stub, by the way. Oh, that sounds nice. David, mediums are my bread and butter. Then from Tom, we've got everything's great, dark and cold, though. It's bright and sunny here and warm. It's now, 29 centigrade. Alia Rose, I like the wishing tree. It's interesting. Yeah, that was the Diamine one, wasn't it? Let me just quickly pull that up so I can have a quick... Because there's so many colours, I can't remember which one. Oh dear, that lemon and lime's just blown off. Wishing tree, yeah, like a greeny... Again, a dusty greeny grey to me. Tom, I heard the dark and cold part for sure. Just rolling up. There we go. Ricardo, I've noticed that the Diamine calendar for this year uses the same door numbers, same design as last year. I think next year I know where day 12 will be. Absolutely, and I'll know what it looks like. Oh, I couldn't believe that. When I got the first comment about it, I was really kicking myself. Alia Rose, waste not, want not, said the design crew. Absolutely, I just don't like black. I would have loved a different colour than black. Even if they'd have gone back using the same colour, from the same colour from, 4 or 5 years ago, the first one. Ricardo, to Tony, happy birthday. Blonde Scales 1, I think the only difference is in the bots each year is the colour. Yeah, don't blame him for that. Blonde Scales 1, agree. David, to Andreas, how are you doing, Andreas? So Andreas is busily packing for his trip. So he is there, he's listening away, but he did say he didn't think he'd be able to join in the comments. Alia Rose, Da Vinci Glow is one of the Colourvent inks I would actually have spent money on knowingly. Also, isn't it brilliant that we've all got these different things that we like? Ricardo, to David, congratulations on the new pen. London is okay, 8 centigrade tonight. It was 12 centigrade during the day, just a little drizzle in the evening. David to Garry, he might not know much though. Let's see what the question is. Hang on a minute, let me get the whole question on here. We're going up, there we go. I have a question. Are there any other inks beside Parker Quink that have lubricants that are good for internal piston fillers? Quink is great, but their colours are limited. I've got to be honest, not 100% sure, but I think, is it Pada Irishizuku? Usually have something like that. Pada Irishizuku is a go-to ink for me if I've got a problem with the pen. I've only got two different ones. I've got Momiji, which is like a pinky red, and I've got Shinryoku, which is like a foresty leafy green. So yeah, maybe the Pilot Irishizuku line might be worth looking at. David to Ricardo. Thanks, Ricardo. Sorry about the weather, but that is winter, I guess. Yeah, it's beautiful here. If I remember in a minute, I will turn that and I'll show you. Let's actually try it now, then I can get the camera. I don't know how well this camera will pick it up. Oops, doesn't want to turn. There we go. I've got my patio door up and I've got my desk fan going. I've got all my junk over there. Nice and bright and sunny out that window. Yeah, a little bit of a behind the scenes there. Let me get this camera back. Not one person can say that word on the first go. Yeah, it's like the other one that they've got, the phenomenon. They seem to have wanted to use complex words. Tony to David, a cocktail stick tip of detergent might help to lubricate. Sorry. Feel my voice going already. Miss Marilyn Darling, hi Garry, Merry Christmas everyone. Welcome to you, Merry Christmas to you. Jim, to Ali Rose I can. Hi, a couple of highs there and a Merry Christmas to Miss Marilyn Darling. Jim, I can't even pronounce the P word on the first go, and fortunately it was only in the first few inks. It wasn't in any of the other ones so far. Let's hope the next 2 days of that one left aren't as bad. Ricardo, Monteverde has a series of inks advertised as well. They're awesome. So there's a few choices there. Another hi. Hi everyone, sorry I'm late. Ted, you're never late, you're always on time. That's what I was taught. You're always on time no matter what time you show up. Annie Rose, hi Ted. We've got Ricardo, a couple of highs, and from Blonde Scales 1. Tony, love that Diamond vibe. Yeah, to be honest, it's all those that I really like. All the extreme sheens. Ted, Garry's got colourful inks and a really colourful hat. Yep, this is my Christmas hat. It's still on. It hasn't got hot enough that I need to take it off, although I think it may do soon. And we've got some highs. Oh, Miss Marilyn Darling. Oh, that Milky Way would go with Diamond Cosmic Glow. Could be a good combination. Yeah. I have to have a look at that. Cosmic Glow? Which one's Cosmic Glow? We haven't looked at Cosmic Glow. That was day 21, I think. Alia Rose, US Milky Way bars are packaged in brown and green, not as pretty. It's a bit of a shame. I say, when I saw it, that was just the name and the colours is what really brought that to mind. Ted Smith, true. Alia Rose, my husband, has a Dungeon Master mug that says Tears of My Players waiting for him under the tree. Awesome. Blonde Scales 1, we've got a lol. We've got another couple of hellos. Hello, BJ. Welcome to you. Again, some more hellos. Tony, yes, Milky Way looks good. I've never seen the actual Milky Way, which is stupid because where I live, right on the outskirts of Perth, we've got open countryside not far away. So I might try next year convincing the wife to take a trip out into, maybe only 10 or 15 kilometres and see if we can see the Milky Way. BJ, Noodler's Polar inks don't spray out of a pen in freezing conditions. Blonde Scales 1, that sounds like drinking from a garden hose in the summer. Yeah. Alia Rose, vitamin L for lead. We've got happy birthday from Marilyn. BJ, just caught the extreme condition question. Don't know about the heat extremes, but I do switch to polar blue and polar black in my pens in my truck in winter after having a pen spew on me after freezing. There you are. There's some other options there. Tony, thanks to Marilyn. Wow, we've been going nearly 50 minutes. Marilyn, they've got the same design for the Inkvent calendar since they started. Ricardo, I was betting that. BJ, Monteverde inks have a lubricant line and Noodlers has lubricants in some as well. Alia Rose, Pilot Irashizuku inks are slippy as well. BJ, Irashizuku inks running anything. Ricardo, Sailor inks also have a reputation for being well behaved. I think that's all the comments for the second that's coming up on my list. Yep, so let's head on back to the overhead camera. I'll fetch this in. I'm also going to fetch in my letter opener to put on it to stop it from blowing away. So, pens I've been using this week. We'll start with the one I've used all week. This is the Opus 88 Omar. No, it isn't. It's the Coloro in teal and blue. So, plastic for the teal, ebonite for the blue. I did do some research about the difference between plastic and ebonite during the week, so I'm still reading into that. This is a eyedropper pen. It's got a bar running down through the middle, so you can actually shut it off. So we've got here an Opus 88 Coloro with that broad nib. Price-wise, you're looking at approximately 167 Aussie dollars. The ink by Diamine. and it's Bliss. Now, there's still a little bit of ink left in this, but it's going into the clean out pot. There you go. Because one of the things I'm trying to do for the end of the year is run down my inked pens. I used that all last week, so I'm going to clean that out now. Up next, from Faber-Castell, we've got the Hexo. This is in this nice blue colour. Do you know, after using this for a while like I've been doing, I can't understand why people choose the Safari over this. This, to me, is so much nicer to use than the Safari, and roughly the same price. It's got a cartridge which I refill. It's out of ink. I'm not sure if this will write, but let's give it a try. Nah, it's got a broad nib, and the price for this is 46 Aussie dollars. I say, about, in fact, it might even be cheaper than what I'm seeing with a Safari. So that's going to go for clean out. Next up, Mahjong. We've got a little bit short and stubby. This is the P139. Piston filling pen. Does have a piston window. On here, I've got a number 6 Fude nib. They've got a lot more choices now with the P139s. You've got number 6 nibs, you've got number 8 nibs, and you've got different styles of nibs. So this is a Mahjong P139. Do you know, I've been loving this pen. This has been my favourite pen of the week. With a Fude, and price-wise, you're looking about 77 Aussie dollars. And the ink is by Diamine. And it's all the best. Nice ink. It's a sheening and a shimmering ink as well. So that's a P139. Another pen which may or may not write. My Ranga Santa. Just moved my thing to hopefully stop that blowing. That's the problem with having the desk fan on. Beautiful this. I love the Ranga Santa. It looks really nice. This time of year, obviously quite appropriate. But I'm happy using this any time of year because the colours are okay. And it's generally got a red ink in it. So, you know, that's how you can get away with it. And this is a cartridge converter. As you can see, next to no ink in. Let me just, can I push that down a little bit more? Yeah, I've hopefully got that all the way to the bottom. I'm hoping it might have pushed a wee bit of ink into the nib. So we've got here, yeah, we've got some Ranga Santa with a 1.1 stub nib. Here we're looking about 170 Aussie dollars. And I see that Ranga are selling these again at the moment. And the ink is by Diamine. And it's tinsel. So that's a nice, again, a shimmer ink. Next up, again, not sure if it'll write, the Bennu Talisman. Again, to me, Christmassy colours. This is Dragon's Blood. But again, I use it all year round. I don't just save it for Christmas because, you know, you can get away with it. It's just, it reminds me of Christmas. Once again, cartridge converter pushed all the way down, so hopefully there'll be a bit of ink left in here. We've got that broad Schmidt nib. So we got here, no, it was not going to write. So this is, or was inked up with Diamine Pick Me Up, and which is a sheening ink. It's a nice brown with a green sheen. And you're looking about 267, no you're not, you're looking about, yes you are, 267 Aussie dollars for that. Then the final pen, one I've just brought in just this week because a number of the other pens had run out. Here we've got the Sailor Pro Gear Slim in blue-green nebula. Beautiful green, or tealy green with that silver in it. Cartridge converter. There we go. Bit of a small pen. I use this posted, but it's beautiful to write with. So I've got here a Sailor Pro Gear Slim with a broad, and it's 14 karat gold. Price wise, it ain't cheap. About 400 Aussie dollars. The ink is by Diamine, and as I said earlier, I'm really liking one of them inks. It's Sleigh Ride. I've already got it in 2 pens. I've got it in this, and I've also got it in the Waterman Karen. I'm really, really liking it. And hopefully, if the paper doesn't blow everywhere, you can already see that beautiful green coming through on top of that base colour. Helps vive it in the camera, doesn't it? It's really, really nice. I really like this. By far, at the moment, I would say it's my favourite ink from the whole of the Diamine series of inks this year. Right, let's head back to the comments. Whoops, the paper's blowing all over. Let me just find, where did I put that thing? There we go. I put the letter opener on it again. Ricardo, most of the sealer shades I prefer are the paler ones, so they're dry. BJ, hey Gary, I'm looking for a new fantasy book set to read. Who's your favourite author and what series would you recommend? Barring the classics, read most. Oh, that's interesting. So many. Obviously, Terry Pratchett. Can't go past Terry Pratchett. The other one I'm reading is Terry Goodkind, so that's the Sword of Truth series. Terry Brooks with the Shannara series, they're really good. If you want something which is fairly light, the books by David Eddings, you've got the Belgariad, the Mallorean, and a couple of other ones, series that I can't remember. They're a lot slimmer books. They're more aimed at younger readers, but I find them really enjoyable. Catherine Kerr, she's really good. Really enjoyed them. They were about Nevin, or No One. I think very much based a lot in Celtic type of situations. Who else? Oh, there's an Australian author. She's died now, unfortunately. I can't remember her name. What's her name? I can see the books, but yeah, just can't think of a name. And the books are in another room, so I can't even go and look. Yeah, but loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of different ones. All enjoyable, and I'm rereading most of them at the moment. Oh, well, obviously just two authors at the moment. But then once I've finished either the Pratchett or the Goodkind, I'll be going to Terry Brooks and finishing off the Shannara ones. Rimini Feast is also good, and he co-wrote some books with a lady author whose name has gone out of my head. And her books are good as well, her individual ones. Catherine Kerr, I've said. There was another author, Janny Wirtz, that's the one with Rimini Feast, and Robin Hobbs is another one. So yeah, loads. David, I have to go be with my family and my soon-to-be nephew-in-law from Scotland. Everyone have a wonderful Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, blessed by God, those you know and around you. Thanks for that, David. Thanks for your time. Adia Rose, if you can't afford a Ranga Santa, one could create a Gin House Santa by combining bits from a white and red Gin House 100. What an awesome idea. Absolutely awesome. I think you could do that. Is it the Gin House 82 as well? And maybe even the Gin House 992. Blonde Scales 1. Merry Christmas, David. Refresh the comments. Ricardo, happy holidays, David. Tom, Merry Christmas. Tony, thanks for another good show. Gary, happy Christmas to you all on this channel. It's nearly 1:30 here. BJ, look at Tom Holt books. There's another recommendation there. I'm going to jump over to Keynote. Let me just get it up. Where's this mouse gone? Here we go. I've lost my mouse. I've lost my marble, but I've also lost the mouse. Let's play that. So last week's videos. So each day, obviously, we had the Inky Countdown. Monday, that was a look at my inked pens. Very short video because I've been really running them down. On Wednesday, we took a look at the Just Turnings Mimas. So again, carrying on my series at the moment where I'm looking at Australian turned pens. And then on Friday, we took up the Sailor Pro Gear Slim and we did a showdown with that against the Sailor Compass. So that was a gold nibbed and a steel nibbed pen. Interesting comparison when I was doing it. The steel nibbed pen, I've got to be honest, apart from the fact there's only medium fine available for nib choice, I quite liked it. It wrote okay, and this was like about an eighth of the cost or something like that. I think the steel nibbed one was about $60 or $70 against $400 for the Pro Gear Slim. So big difference in price. Next week's video. So again, we're going to be carrying on every day up till Wednesday with my Inky Countdown. Yes, there will be a video coming out on Christmas Day. So tomorrow, my time, Monday, going to do a fountain pen focus on the Platypus Pens Model 10. So another Australian maker. This time, though, the pen is 3D printed. On Wednesday, we've got the Sailor Pro Gear Slim versus the Waterman Karen. And they are both with that Diamine Sleigh Ride, so it's the same ink. And then on Friday, we're going to take a look at the Kinbor Techo planner, which is an A5 planner. So I'm going to give my first impressions and walk through the book and say how I'm going to be using it for the next year. My books. So I finished off Death's Mistress by Terry Goodkind. I really enjoyed that. One of the best of the entire series, I've got to be honest. So looking forward to getting into the next one. And just last night, I finished A Hatful of Sky by Terry Pratchett. So that's another Tiffany Aiken and the Knack-Mack Fiedel. Nice tale. It was trying to think how you could describe it. It was looking at how her mindset was working, I think. And then so tonight I'll be starting with Going Postal, again by Terry Pratchett. Time to do a membership giveaway. Let me just close down this and get to the right window. Where are you? Oh, there we go. I'll just exit out of Keynote. Okay, let's go over to the tab of tabbiness and membership gifting. So there's 5 memberships left for this month. Hold on to your hats, especially if you've got a nice Christmas hat. Let's see who gets one of the memberships this month, if I can find the mouse again. My mouse keeps disappearing. Come on, you've got to be there somewhere. Here, mousey, mousey, mousey. There we are. Right over there. Right, let's hit that button. It's right, there it is. Slowly, 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 slowly. Gift 5 now. So, they should be coming through. It's thinking, it's thinking. And we've just gifted 5 memberships. So, you should be getting a notification if you are one of the lucky people to have received a 1-month membership to the channel. So, membership is available. Every time all those people that help with membership, we do extra things. So, they get videos 2 days early. So they've already got the Platypus Focus video that was released to them yesterday. We do a monthly Ask Me Anything video. We do a monthly Zoom chat. And I'm constantly looking at things we can do differently, to bring extra value for the members. There's also a weekly video that the members get as well, which is my pens that I've been using that week. Please hit the thumbs up button. I might as well do this while we're here. Every time you like, every time you comment, really helps with the YouTube algorithm. Don't forget to subscribe. You'd be surprised how many people watch my videos, but they're not subscribed. Just hit that subscribe button. It costs you nothing to subscribe, but it means you get a little bit more warning about my videos. I say everything that people do to help the channel is very much appreciated. So Marilyn, Merry Christmas, everyone. Alia Rose, we've got $2 there for the pen fund. Thank you so much. That's very, very much appreciated. I say, hopefully, I'll be getting a new pen in January. I'm already eyeing up the next ones after that as well. I've got my eye on a couple of Chinese pens, which I'd quite like the look of. Blonde Scales 1, have a Merry Christmas all. Ali Rose, have a nice holiday. Jim, looking forward to the Platypus 10 video. Yeah, I like that. The Platypus 10, it's a different type of pen for me. Ricardo, have a great time, everyone, and a nice week. Jim, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to everybody. Blonde Scales 1 and Jim, congratulations to the winners, and from Ricardo. BJ, you said Terry Pratchett first for authors. What is your first series recommendation? Looks like he has a few, thanks. So he has got a few. The vast majority of them are what they call Discworld novels. Now, you can read them, to be honest, in virtually any order because most of them are fairly standalone, but there's a lot of characters that repeat, and there's a lot of the books which do build up. So it is possible to just read a subset. Personally, I think it's worth reading them right from the start. So the first one is, I can't remember. It's either The Light Fantastic or The Colour of Magic. I can't remember which one was the first. One of them was the first, the other one's the second. That's where I would start personally. But I say you can read them in any order. If you search up Terry Pratchett bibliography, there is a page which gives you some groupings. And then he's also got a couple of standalone novels. There's Nation and Dodger. He's also co-wrote Good Omens with Neil Gaiman. And then there's some more, I want to call them kids ones. Diggers, Truckers, and I think it's The Carpet People. Just off the top of my head. But The Light Fantastic's worth starting with. And there's about 30 odd books in the whole series, but they do follow different characters, and it goes between them in each different book. BJ, congrats to the winners. Chris, Merry Christmas to all. Ted, Merry Christmas, everyone. Chris, yes, start from The Colour of Magic, then the Light Fantastic. Brilliant. Now, at least we know the order now. BJ, I'll order it tonight. I really like them. They're not big books. Most of them are about 300-ish pages. So, the one I finished last night, I started reading on Monday. So that's what, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So about 6 nights and I'd finished it. But they're just such a nice, light-hearted read. You can pick them up and read them anytime. Let me refresh the comments. Okay, thank you all for your time. I will leave the comments open whilst the outro plays. I do have one more Christmas top to show you, so that will be in next week's live. If you want to see that, make sure you join in next week. Last thing we're going to do, and I've left this deliberately to the end, is my Christmas joke. I've only got the one. Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader, they were having a lightsaber battle, and they were going bish bash bosh, bish bash bot, like you do. And Darth Vader, he paused and he leaned in and he said to Luke, "I know what you're getting for Christmas." And then they started fighting again. After a couple of minutes, Darth Vader leans in yet again and he says, "I know what you're getting for Christmas." And they start fighting again. For a third time, Darth Vader leans in and he says, "Luke, I know what you're getting for Christmas." So Luke Skywalker says, "Hang on a minute. How do you know what I'm getting for Christmas?" And Darth Vader said, "I felt your presence." I know, really bad. That's why I left it to the end, because I thought it might kill the whole live. So anyway, thank you all for your time. I'm just going to do one quick refresh of the comments, just if anything else has come in. No, that's it. So thank you, everybody. As I say, I'll leave the chat open whilst the outro plays. And I'll talk to you again soon.